Don't stop clapping this next time. She is very, very funny. Give it up for Sandy Benton, you guys.
Hey, hi. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hi. Hi, cool. I did not grow up wanting to do comedy. I grew up wanting to be an actress and wanting to be a writer. I ended up going down a completely different path with design. I didn't know doing comedy was like an option. Like if you watch comedy specials and stuff when you're growing up or any, like I never was like, oh, I want to do that. I didn't think about it at all. I always liked performing and I liked writing and I liked attention in a very specific performance way. That's me! And then I remember I came to a show at DC Improv with my friends, I think in 2017. And I saw the host on stage who was a woman around my age and I loved what she was doing. I thought she was so cool. She was like using stories from her life to make people laugh and I was like, oh my gosh, all of these horrible stories could have a point. And it took me like another year to start. But that was like the moment where I was like, oh, you can do this, that's a thing. And I started doing it thinking, oh, I'll try it once or twice and see if I like it, or like, because I was so nervous about doing it. And then when I started, it, took over my life entirely. Something that's maybe unique about my performance is I'm a very gaspy person, like my breathing's very loud. I was actually born with one paralyzed vocal cord and the other vocal cord was, not 100%. And I was trached until I was 7 years old when the paralyzed vocal cord started to move. Not all the way, but enough. And like as an adult now, I still sound gaspy. Cool! I'm recording something, which is why I'm covered in wires. Just a heads up, if you ever record something, that's not the day to go with the plunge. It's the only time I've done it. I'm like, I'm gonna be bold tonight. No, mistake. Hi. I started comedy in 2018. I think it was April 6, 2018. And I started I did an open mic in Arlington, Virginia at this bar called Summers, which has since been demolished. But for a while I just went like to the once a week mic. I'm like, well, this will be a thing I do once a week. And then it snowballed from there, kind of. Making people laugh is important to me because one, I like, making people feel better. I like feeling like I'm a part of something. And in the moments where I'm like not feeling great about myself, it makes me feel like I'm adding value. Been working on my mental health recently because someone said I should, and I'm working on it. I started keeping a gratitude journal, kind of cheesy, but at first it started to work. My depression went way down. I had to stop keeping it because my anxiety went way up. All I was doing was listing things and then looking at the list and going, I have so much to lose. Having panic attacks every day. If you feel like you're bombing, you kind of, depending on the situation, there's different ways to try to get out of it. Either you can try to save it, you can acknowledge you're bombing. I had a show recently where I was, and acknowledging it got a good laugh, but it's still a bomb. You just kind of end up learning it's not the end of the world if a room full of people don't like you. I was really excited after my first ever set that I did it because I was so nervous to do it. In general, I think I'm just really grateful I started comedy because of the community it gave me. Like, I have a ton of friends who are creative and interesting and like wonderful people. I get to be a part of this whole world that I didn't even know existed before I started this, and I get to know all these people that I wouldn't know otherwise, and that's what I think about more often, I think. I'm bad at seducing people? Anyone else? I would love to one day be able to do this full time. Wait, are you guys here together? But I think I have a lot of work to do to get there, if that happens. You did it! Congratulations! All right! I love how he's clapping for himself. He's like, come on, everyone! I love Brian Regan. He's someone I listen to a lot before comedy. good. It's cool to see like all these major people in the same place that I'm gonna get to be. David Tell's incredible. His crowd work is like unmatched. He's amazing. I was just lucky enough to get to perform in Dublin, Ireland, and Galway, Ireland, which was really cool. That was the first time I've ever done anything outside of the country. I performed in New York. I performed in Chicago and Atlanta. What do you do making 125K?
COD.
What do you do for them? Can you talk about it? Probably not.
I send emails, review documents.
During the day, I'm a motion graphics designer, and I enjoy it. But I really love comedy. I just love performing and would like to do it anytime I can.
Are you in therapy now?
The therapy actually, I'm pretty good actually. Yeah.
You're pretty good, actually. Every man who's ever, sorry, you seem very nice. Every guy I've ever asked, have you been to therapy? They've literally all said, I'm pretty good, actually.
One of the really wonderful things about comedy, and I've heard other people say this too, is that there's no barrier to entry, and there's no like requirement. Like there's no age requirement, there's no looks requirement, there's no sound requirement. Like you can just do it. And if you're funny, then people will laugh at you. And you get to perform no matter what. And that's pretty cool. That's nice.
Want to. All right, well, we're all on film here. How did you lose your virginity? You've got a platform, sir. You won't really be on film, by the way. Don't worry. If you change your mind, let me know. Otherwise, give it up for the very funny Owen. He's amazing. Thank you.
Definitely a way to feel confident and comfortable in your own voice. I think it went okay. I think I'm getting, I sometimes get in my head a little bit. I think I was in my head tonight, but until the last 30 seconds of the set where I felt more comfortable because I just acknowledged that I was super in my head. So that helped.
Do you want to talk about it? Okay, all right, good. Well,
And I felt better after that. So 30 seconds out of 7 minutes I thought was solid.